Hey YouTube and caymanas Park Turf Fights. I hope you guys doing well on the Saturday program, because I'm doing this Tuesday program before Saturday. So we have a busy race meet coming up next week. So and so let's get to this Grand Market program. Okay, the first race, 3-year-olds and up, claiming 1 million, 8 starters, 5.5 furlongs is the trip. And don't want this video to be too long, so let's just get into it. Around this race after 4 horses, the 3 God of Love, the 4 Power Ranking, the 6 Warsaw, and the 8 Nakamura. All right, God of Love, definitely the back class horse of the race. This 8-year-old gelding, used to be a top class contender, getting on in age now, probably having his aches and pains. Has been running at this level now with the past 3 starts, has a win. The last 2 runs have been very lackluster, but on last showed that he still had some of his speed, because at the furlong pole he was still third by only 3/4 a length, going 6.5 furlongs. Takes a cutting distance now, and Samantha Fletcher gets the ride, so she claims 2 off of the 120. Definitely God of Love is in here with a shot. The 4 Power Ranking, competitive at this level, stepped up way over his head back to overnight on last, and paid the price. Comes back quick, comes back down here, 5.5 furlongs, right up his alley. Last time at this trip back in July was second by half a length to God of Love, who's in this race. So definitely offer that Power Ranking coming back down in class now is definitely a top contender. The 6, the 3-year-old Chestnut Colt to Warsaw. What is Warsaw doing down here? Baba Nunes doesn't generally get rid of young horses with only 4 starts plus 2 wins. Unless he's thinking they're not going to claim him, they're going to think something wrong with him. He's at the exercise track, he's cantering. So unless something has gone wrong with this Warsaw, for them to take this step down in class to claiming ranks, because otherwise I think Warsaw would definitely be one of the horses fighting it out. Definitely has a lot of pace. Tevin Foster gets the ride, or maybe it's just them giving Tevin Foster a sure win, but he was scratched in November 23rd lame, so that's some cause for concern. But once sound and fit, definitely Warsaw should be in the thick of things throughout. And the 8 Nakamura, this horse stepped up from 750,000 to 1.2 million on last, was 5th by 3.5 lengths to Milos, who was coming down in class. So that's a big run. That's at 7 furlongs. Comes down to 5.5 now, which if you remember back in July, he was second by a head to Phenomenal One, who recently win at that level 400,000 claimer. So Nakamura has definitely improved since that race. Like he found a new lease on life. So I'm squeezing Nakamura in here with a shot. So those are my 4. The 3 God of Love, the 4 Power Ranking, the 6 Warsaw. Once everything is right with Warsaw, I think that should be the winner. And the 8 Nakamura. And if you want to squeeze a long shot into the Superfecta, I would put Ella Fortunado, prominent and last over the straight 5 course, running 9th to Acknowledge Me. Comes back down to the Million Claimer. Last time at the Million Claimer was August, when it was 4th by 3 lengths to Generational and Volatility with Rejected Raja in 3rd. So as a long shot for the Superfecta, I'd put him in this. The second race, 3-year-olds and up, claiming 250,000, not earned 180,000 after August 24th. 6 starters, 6 furlongs, small field. Don't like these races, but I'll just go and boil it down to 3. The 2 Print Quality, the 3 Party Princess, and the 4 K-Boy. Excuse me. Print Quality stepped down to this level back in November and was a no-show in that event, finished 5th by 20 lengths. Comes back here, is hacking at the trot, so I think he's sound. So I'm going to definitely put Print Quality here in this very cheap race. The 3 Party Princess, last 3 starts at this level, was 3rd the first time at this level at 5 furlongs straight, finishing behind Stanislaus. Then came back on was 6 by 7 lengths to Absolute Blue. Wasn't a bad run. Came back at 6 furlongs, 5th by 11 lengths to Prince Dominic. I think he fits right. She fits right in here. This 11-year-old mare. She was trotting recently, so I think she's sound. Roger Hewitt still has a ride, squeezing her in it. And the 4, the horse I think they have to beat. K-Boy, last time out September at 250 after coming down from 400,000, was second to Prince Dominic. And Prince Dominic recently won. The cheek pieces are now on, are back on. Although that's a question sign for me. This horse ran so well without the cheek pieces, and they've now put them back on. So that's a question sign for me with K-Boy, but I just can't leave him. So those are the 3 I think the race come down between. The 2 Print Quality, the 3 Party Princess, and the 4 K-Boy. K-Boy I think is the horse to beat, but just the fact that them put back on the cheek pieces kind of have me second guessing. But back in the past, ran well with it, so let's see what happens there. The 3rd race, Nature Bred 3-year-old maiden, 7 starters, another small field, 5 furlongs round, and the usual suspects here. The 3 main horses. When boil it down to those, the 2 Military Light, the 5 Lady Sarasuta, and the 7 Kensia. Okay, Military Light, 3rd and last by 5 3/4 of a length after coming out of the gate slow over the straight to Radam. Was only a length behind Lady Sarasuta that day. Comes back at a similar distance, but this time going around the bend from a clean start, depending on how fast the pace sets up. If Military Light is close enough, if good enough, I think should be able to fight it out once again. The 5 Lady Sarasuta has some pace, will be very prominent in the early stages, probably lead RB, the horse pressing the leader. Goes around the bend now. The last time around the bend blew the turn, ended up on the stand fence. They've taken off the blinkers and added the figure 8. Tevin Foster replaces Samantha Fletcher. So if T Foster can get to have this Lady Sarasuta inside of the expected speed, who I think is going to be Kensia, that might prevent Lady Sarasuta from bolting towards the stands. If when they come around the bend, he's inside of a horse. So that's what I'm going to look out for with Lady Sarasuta, because I'm not sure if that problem has been rectified. But definitely she's going to be the horse fighting it out. Once she takes that turn and comes up the straight, she should definitely be fighting it out to the finish. And Kensia has some pace. Last time out was 4th by 9 lengths in the same Radam race, but was right with the leaders all the way up to the final furlong and a half. Going around the bends now, has a more relaxing kind of run because he gets into that turn. If he gets the lead, if he can clear the lead and get to that rail and hope Lady Sarasuta bolts, might end up with a lone speed on them and kick away, but doesn't seem to have that final kick in the stretch. But this is 5 round, and speedsters generally love 5 furlong round. So in my opinion, Kensia is going to be the horse they're going to have to catch. So those are the 3 are boiling it down to: the 2 Military Light, the 5 Lady Sarasuta, and the 7 Kensia. I think that's the way it should finish. But if there is a surprise in the race, the only horse I could see probably surprising them is the 3 Fort Haldane. Fort Haldane has only 1 start, and that was in November 30th against the Dream to Reality and Lady Sarasuta race. Did nothing in that race. Everton Stone still up for Spencer Chung. Maybe that was just an introduction to racing, because this horse is very well bred, casual trick-out luscious. So very good pedigree there. So don't know much about this Fort Haldane exercise. You don't really know what he's really doing. You don't see any good works, but he's cantering, so he's definitely fit. Better for that pipe opener. So if there is a surprise in the 4th, Native Bred 4 years and up, non-runs are 4, and imported 4 years and up, non-runs are 3. Super competitive field of 8, going a mile. This race is ultra competitive. Like, to be honest, I'm working through the race and almost everybody look like them have a chance in this race. So I'm going to talk about 5 horses here, and you guys pick who you think gets the best argument. But to really go out on a limb and say I'm going to pick this horse, it's one of those races where it's a conundrum. It's an enigma to me right now. I'm stuck. I don't know which horse to use. In pick 6, I probably use the 5 horses that I'm going to talk about now. All right, the first one I'm going to talk about is Wizkid. Christopher Mamdine for Donovan Dude Hutchinson. Last time out was 4th by 5.5 length in a 7.5 furlong race. I'm going to actually toss that race out. Reason being, Wizkid was just way too early for his own good. He was only 2.5 lengths off at the half mile. And even notice the half mile went 47 and 3 in that race. So just before he reached that half mile marker, he was right up in the pace. So he was going way too fast for his own good. Because if you know Wizkid, that's a horse that likes to be throttled back, wait, and then move at the 3 furlong mark and come with a big run. So under that kind of ride this time around, I think Wizkid will be flying home late. They've put on the visors and the figure 8. The visors tend to make horses sharp early, you know. I don't know if Wizkid wants to be sharp early. But man, he has the right jockey in his back to get him off and relax. So Wizkid should be flying late once covered up for a run. The 3 Lion Charmer, ran loose for the very astute Patrick Lynch. Last time out over the straight 5 course was a no-show, but expected that kind of because the figure 8 was off that day. The figure 8 is now back on. And before that, 7.5 was third by 5.25 lengths to Kem and Huntsman after coming out very slowly at the start and was flying home late. So getting an extra half a furlong to go, although not bred to really be a mile horse, is a horse that is a sustainer, does run on strong. So even though I think the mile might be a little bit long for Lion Charmer, he has the right trainer, he has a good jock. Definitely a danger horse in running on. The 5 Burning Valor, I recently talked about this horse on Horses to Watch when he reared in gate and through Halladine, came back over the straight 5. I mentioned him for the Superfecta. He did finish 4th by 5.5 lengths over the straight 5 with Halladine. Tevin Foster now gets the ride for Greg Fennell. Burning Valor, this is I think his 3rd consecutive week running, so he's super fit. And I think Burning Valor, once again, if he's held up off those fractions, he's one of those that should be flying home late as well. The 7 Uncaptured Empress, since coming to this class, 2 starts, a 5th by 8.5 and 6 by 8.5, 7 and 7.5 respectively. The thing about that now, those were introduction races runs to this class. In my opinion, this horse is definitely the speed of the race. Gets Shane Richards to claim 2 for Peter McMaster. And if you watch these works coming into the race, on the 13th of December, a mile in 145.3, the first 5 in 102. The last work, the 18th of December, out the shoot, 7 furlongs in 130 and 3. There's some serious work coming into this race. So if they allow this Uncaptured Empress to get to that lead and relax, boy, I'm going to have them work cut out to get back to her, because as you can see, this race is void of speed. So if they allow her to slip on that lead and get away, dangerous horse in the event. And the 8 Huntsman, Radish Roman up for Gary Griffiths, 7.5 furlongs and last was second by 2 lengths. This horse is also a horse that will close late, but if you notice in that race, he was very early in the pace and the pace was pretty quick, and he still only lost by 2 lengths. So I don't know if they're going to try that tactic again, which I don't think would be a smart idea, because I think Uncaptured Empress going to dominate the fraction. So if he hooks up with Uncaptured Empress, it might set up perfectly for the stretch runners to catch them, unless Huntsman has really turned around and gets to the lead before the half mile and kicks away. You know, that can happen. But those are the 5 I'm going to work with. So take it as how I say it and see which one of them you like more than me. I'm really watching this Uncaptured Empress, especially because of those works. So I wouldn't mind taking a chance with her, but on a pick 6, I'd probably carry all 5. So they are the 1 Wizkid, the 3 Lion Charmer, the 5 Burning Valor, the 7 Uncaptured Empress, and the 8 Huntsman. The 5th race, native bred 5-year-olds and up nuns of 2 and imported 5-year-olds and up maidens. 8 starters, 4 furlongs straight the distance. A weak set of horses here. I don't really buy these races. I'm just going to pick it because, you know, pick 6 purposes. But honestly, I would have skipped this race. But the 4 horses I give a chance in this race. And trust me, they don't have to win, because this race is just so poor. Are the 4, Excuse Me Goodbye. The 5, Give Me the Light. The 7, Don Vincenzo. And the 8, Awesome Prince. Okay, Excuse Me Goodbye. Poor run and last going 5 furlongs round when beaten 8 by 17 lengths by a phenomenal one. That was in the class above. steps back down in class now, and as you will notice, and that race when in the class above had on did not have on the cheek pieces. The cheek pieces have now put back on. Tevin Foster now has the ride, so I'm expecting Excuse Me Goodbye to put in a much better run. Busy at exercise, was cantering, so definitely sound, definitely one of the fitter horses in the race, definitely one of the speedier horses in the race, so you can't leave Excuse Me Goodbye out of this event. The 5, Give Me the Light, Roger Hewitt for Junior Panton. Last time out was third by 6 1/4 lengths to Principal Tiffany at 5 1/2. Does have some speed, but this kind of sharp race is going to be on his toes, because if they slip off, leave him, we have a hard time getting back to them over this quick sprint. But fitness wise, I think he's definitely in here with a good shot. The 7, Don Vincenzo. Last time out was 4th by 5 lengths in the race with Pip and Excuse Me Goodbye. Held his gallop well, so I think he is sound. Gets Aaron Satry for Stephen Todd, and if the bolts and pins are for some of these horses fall out, if the sound Don Vincenzo turns up, definitely should be finishing strong at the finish. And the 8, Awesome Prince, Siobhan Townsend for Stephen Todd. This is Stephen's other horse in the race now. He's the interesting horse to me. This horse, last race was the 17th of November. Finished 6 by 20 lengths in the same Pip race. But before that, he hadn't run, his last run was 2 years prior to that, where he was 5th by 9 lengths to Freedom Street, Stomp the Rhythm, and One Like It. Way better horses than these. So he definitely had his problems. They've gotten him back up, this well-bred horse out of Vancouver by Awesome Lucy. Gets a run under his belt. Worked before that run too, worked 3 furlongs in 39.4. So I'm thinking this Awesome Prince is sound enough, and I think that what run that he got recently is definitely a good run for him. And I think he will get the 5 straight, because the 2 races I see on farm over the 5 straight, the 20th of August 2022 was 2nd by 3/4 length. I think that was the champion Bob Lock, could be, I'm not sure, I think so. And the last time he was over the straight was the 29th of October 2022, 7 by 4.5 lengths to Phoenix Risen Freedom Street, Lord Birkenham. So a fit and sound Awesome Prince, I'm not going to rule him out with a chance in a field of this nature. The 6th race, the Sunic Stakes. Nature bred 2-year-old maiden special weight, fillies only. 9 starters, quick dash, 5 furlongs round. And these are the toddlers. Don't really like working out the toddlers, but I work off of breeding and the workouts, that's it. I don't actually see them working out, I have to go off of the workouts that we get in the farm. So I'm just going to talk about the 5 that I like in the race. The 2, Margarita. The 4, Social Aviator. The 6, Native Flyer. The 7, Linguist. And the 9, Lady Babita. Okay, the 2, Margarita. Dane Dawkins for Gary Sobrati. This horse is out of Alvino Malcano. Alvino Malcano now is my favorite stallion that they have in the country now. This horse is a super bred horse out of Into Mischief. This horse have bloodline go back to Nirko. Also has native dancer, northern dancer. Very rich bloodline on both sides of the other family. So I like this Avino Malcano. I saw this horse race when it used to race at Saratoga. I think this horse has like earnings like almost $400,000. And I think didn't race much, but it was a sprinter. Avino Malcano was definitely a sprinter. I know he won this big 2-year-old race at Saratoga when he used to race. But a very well-bred stallion. This Margarita is out of the mare is Casual Drink, who is a speed mare, comes out of Casual Trick. So this Margarita should be built for speed. I don't know how they look, but I'm just working off of the breeding. The workouts don't look too bad, Nothing too fast, nothing too flashy. But off of the breeding, I like in this Margarita. Very, very well-bred horse. The 4, this is Social Aviator from the Jason DeCosta stable. Tevin Foster up out of Bold Conquest by Classy Aviator. I remember Classy Aviator, she used to be a late running horse. Gets maybe 7 furlongs or so. But this horse is working very well. You know, has some decent works coming into this race. Last work was 5.5 in 109 by 102 and 2. So exercise reports are very positive for this filly. So definitely looking at this Social Aviator. Next up is Native Flyer. Recently had her first start, December 14th, against the local bred stallion, Wow Wow's first runner, Enthusiasm, who won in 47-2. This Native Flyer made a move coming to the furlong pole to be only 2.25 lengths off of the speed, and then the speed left Native Flyer in the dust. But comes here against some fresh foot, so go and squeeze him in. Squeeze her in, I mean, sorry. The 7, Linguist, from the Anthony Babanuni stable with Omar Walker. This one is also out of Avina Malcano. Well, I'm just excited about the stallion. This one is out of Bilingual. Bilingual was a very good 2-year-old, but I think she had her issues and was retired early. This Bilingual was a run-on sprinter kind of horse. This horse, Linguist, is working very well. Consecutive 36s at the exercise, then a 48, then an easy 50, and then last work coming to this was 5 furlongs in 101 and 2. It's very good. Not too fast, but decent. And we know Baba Nunes can turn out young horses very fit. And last but not least, Lady Abita. This one is trained by Matthew Williams. He used to train at Gulfstream Park. Riandu is up. This is a decently bred horse too. Soul Warrior out of Lady Abijita. If we remember, Lady Abijita is out of local stallion Miracle Man, and she won the Oaks. You know, so we try to build up our local blood stock. You know, you got to give some of the local stallions with good pedigree a chance. So this Lady Babita looks good at exercise. She's working good in the mornings. She had a 48-1 and a 102-4 with stablemate Mudshaft, who won recently. Her last work coming into this was a 47-2 by a 101 and 1 out the gate. So that's very good. So yeah, I think the winner going to come from one of those, but I'm not going to stick my neck out. So it's going to be between the 2, Margarita, who I said is very, very, very well bred. The 4, Social Aviator. The 6, Native Flyer. The 7, they are also very well bred Linguist. And the 9, Lady Babita. Yeah, those are the 5 that I'm working with. The 7th race, native bred 3-year-old, non-winners of 2, and imported 3-year-old and Up Maiden. 7 starters, 6 furlongs. This is the Royal Lancaster Trophy. And to be honest, really one horse I like in this race. But for the exotic bets are going put 4. Okay, so the 4 horses are the 1 Adira, the 2 Happy Force, the 4 Smart Trick, and the 6 First Offense. Okay, let's start off with Adira. Second and last, when trying to steal home, caught by Sipping on Sunshine. That was at 5.5 furlongs. Gets an extra half a furlong now. Is capable at this. Last time at this distance was caught by Francis. Also trying to steal home in that race. So she definitely very fit right now. Dade Dawkins now gets a ride for Carlton Cunningham. Adira again is going to try to get to that lead from this one draw and fight it out. The 2 Happy Force, the Philip Fiani trained horse with Delroy Bear in the saddle, came up to this class, got a rude awakening at 7 furlongs, beaten 32 lengths by Battle Angel and Smart Trick. Better for that pipe opener, and is my long shot to watching this race. The 4, the horse I think is who is finally going to get it right, Smart Trick. You know, I think this race is tailor-made for Smart Trick. You know, 2 consecutive seconds at 7 furlongs was caught napping by Battle Angel, then caught by Tiffany Blue, the very improved Tiffany Blue, at 6 furlongs. Comes back here at 6. Does have some speed to contend with in Adira, but I think this Smart Trick, I think, is prime now for this race. I think is peaking right now, and I think Smart Trick finally gets the job done with Tevin Foster for Anthony Nunes. And the 6, also for the exotics is First Offense. Turned up and last, showed a good run at 4.5 furlongs to Justin Big Time and Pineapple. Pineapple is a really good horse, I really think. And he was only 3 lengths off a Pineapple in that race. Get 6 furlongs now last. Good run at 6 was back in October 12th when beaten 7 lengths by Zulu Warrior and Pope's Lady off the pace. Think he's a strip much fitter coming out of that 4.5 furlong race. I consider that race more like a workout coming into this. Javanil Patterson for Stephen Todd. And I think First Offense could make the trifecta. So my 2 outsiders possibilities for the trifectas are Happy Force and First Offense, but I think Smart Trick gets the better of Adira. The 8th race, the race I'm really excited to watch. Not a race I will buy in, but it's a race I just want to watch because I think these horses are going to go probably 104 for the 5.5. This is the Christopher Chris Arman Memorial Sprint Trophy, 3-year-old and Up Stakes. Small field of 6, 5.5 furlongs. Small field, but a very exciting race is brewing. Okay, I think personally it's a 2-horse race. Definitely a 2-horse race. The 3, Pack Plays. The 6, Desert of Malibu. Okay, let's work this out. Going to try not to go too long. The last video I did was way too long. Okay, number 3, Pack Plays. Very, very useful and impressive American colt. This colt reminds me of, I don't know who remember this horse from back in the days, the older people might remember a horse named Distinctive Bingo. Pack Play looks like Distinctive Bingo and runs like Distinctive Bingo. So this Pack Play, I like it. I like when small horse, but I like when run. Okay, last time out was in the Mute Mile. The first time this horse has ever been a mile, and ran very well. Picked up the lead. Could have gotten to the lead from the gates open, but definitely they saw that Jason had Banadora as a rabbit. Went to the front early, so the rider rated Pack Play with 128 pounds in him back. And that's not how Pack Play run. Pack Play can be rated, but Pack Play prefers to jump on that lead and just kick. Krieger with 128 pounds in him back. Stalked Banador till she choked. Went through. Ran brave. Turned for home 2.25 lengths. 4th. Finished 6 by 5 lengths, which is very, very good. Still finished in 139.4 for a horse. First time going the distance. To me, that's a super impressive run by this Pack Play. And to be honest, no mishap or anything. I think Pack Play wins this race. Okay, the American Queen of Local Racing, Desert of Malibu. Okay, this big horse. She's a big horse. We're going to give her a prop. She is a big horse. In the Mute Mile, didn't have the best of luck. Coming past the 3, she got checked by Fun Can Done. And she lost a little momentum there, because she was about 3.5, 4 lengths off the lead when that happened. And she still managed to finish only 7.5 lengths off the lead. I think she lost maybe about 3 lengths in that little check. So she could have been closer. Possibly could have finished 4th in the race. I don't think she would have won, but I think she would have finished a lot closer. Because a mile is not definitely the trip she likes. She prefers 6, 6.5. That's Desert of Malibu's trip. 5.5, not going to be a problem for her though. She's very speedy. She loves to go to the front. She loves to go out there and press the pace. But the problem with Desert of Malibu, what I have with her, when she gets a real test, she will win, you know. But you see it in her times. When she doesn't get tested, she run the fast. You see the fastest times come from this horse when there's nobody pressing her. But the minute she gets pressed, it shows in her time. And I'm going to point out, on April 13th, the first time she ever got tested against a top class horse was with Mahogany carrying the big weight. And she was 118 pounds that day. And Mahogany, she had to work hard to really get by Mahogany. Did pull away from him. But look at the time, 113 and 2. Only 3 lengths in front of a gift from Ben, who has not won a race since and is in overnight allowance. She did say she was lame after that race. Came back in September and blew a hole in the wind by running 110 and 4. But as I said, when she doesn't get any company on the lead, she's going to run as fast as she wants. Came back after that. 6 furlongs again now. Everybody was expecting, she's going to run 109. No, Pack Play was in that race this time. But here's the thing. Pack Play, Cardenas lost his irons after the start. And Pack Play still was in contention with Desert of Malibu coming past the 3 furlong marker. So Pack Play was putting pressure on her even with the rider without any irons. And She won that by 3.5 lengths, but look at the time, 1:12 and 3, almost 2 seconds slower than when she's allowed to just settle on that lead. Another thing I'm going to point out, the first time she and Pack Play met, she was carrying 121 pounds and Pack Play was carrying 118 pounds. So she was giving Pack Play 3 pounds. When they met in the Mute Mile, Pack Play carries 128 pounds. She carried 116 pounds, 12 pounds difference. Now she's carrying 126 and Pack Play is down to 117. The reason for that is she's a stakes winner. Pack Play has not won a stakes race, so that's why she has to give him weight in this stakes race. So that's why I'm going to lean towards Pack Play. This is his pet trip when he used to run at Gulfstream. One of the most impressive wins I've ever seen a horse is Pack Play winning 5.5 with the rider doing nothing, and 2 horses around him pumping hard and the rider doing nothing and wins with Pack Play. So I lean in towards Pack Play getting the job done at the handicaps. Mainly because of the handicaps and the distance, I'm giving Pack Play the edge. But I'm expecting a big fight between these two. And if she beats him, well, you know that she's already a super horse. So if she beats him, it's, you know, and I wouldn't be surprised if she beats him. But I'm leaning toward Pack Plays to get the job done. For third, I'm going to carry Fearless Soul, running on after that fast pace and out finishing the rest of the horses. So it's 3 Pack Play for me over Desert of Malibu and Fearless Soul. The 9th and final race before Christmas. 3-year-olds and up, optional claim of 550. Native bred 5-year-old and 6-year-olds and up, non-lose of 4, and imported 5-year-olds, non-lose of 3. 12 starters, 7 furlongs, and a lot of pretenders in this race. So I'd weed them out and I boil this race down to 4. They are the 1, Big Jewel, the 3, Great Trick, the 11, Shaboom, and the 12, Simba the Lion. Okay, Big Jewel. Once upon a time, highly thought of horse that came here in Utah for the classics. Ran well, won some good races, winning by wide margins, but definitely had some leg problems. And as you can see, has changed stables multiple times. And it's just not the same horse that he used to be. His last good run was back on January of this year, going 7 furlongs when beaten by Storm by half a length. And that's a far cry from his best runs. Since then, came back and was 5th to burn notice. His last start in May, pulled up lame in a race won by Crimson. Freshened up for this by Ryan Darby. Paul Francis gets the ride. They have put on the figure 8 on him. I think this horse has only run the figure 8 once, and that was on his poor the first time he came to Claimers. So I don't know if this race is just a race to see how he performs for his Ryan, but I definitely can't leave him because he's definitely a horse with some class if he's very sound. The 3, Great Trick, ran a good second back on the 19th of October, finishing second to Sir John. Came back after that in basically the same kind of feel. Was prominent until the top of the lane and then faded. Gets a little bit of a freshening here, but that was a change of barn. They've given a little bit of freshening. Has apprentice in his back. I don't know how he has won one race already. Everett Clunis for Fernando Geddes. I'm going to give this Great Trick a shot at running on in a race like this that I don't really see a lot of good horses in, I should say. The 11, Shaboom. When this horse is fit and ready to run, she always puts in a good run. Her last good run was the 16th of November at this distance, at 750,000. So she's down in class. She went up to 1.2 million claimer, and as expected, did nothing against Milos. So stepping down here with Christopher Mamdine for Alroy Watson. 7 furlongs. I think is our pet trip. I think Shaboom definitely is in it with a maximum chance if the speed comes back in the stretch. And the horse I think they all have to beat is Simba the Lion. Interesting, Simba the Lion, I always call him Lion the Lion because in Kenya, they speak Swahili, and in Swahili, Simba means lion. So I always say Lion the Lion. Well, yeah, I think he's definitely the horse they're going have to beat. Last 2 starts at this level, was a winner. Sometimes tends to be slow into stride, but was a flyer in his last 2 starts, and he prevailed, make all the running. Might be able to control the pace here depending on how fit this big jewel is. But I think Tevin Foster will get him out of the gate for Dale Murphy, and if he gets to that lead and gets comfortable even with 126 in his back, I think Simba the Lion's horse you're going to have to catch. My outsiders to watch, be careful of in the race, is the 2 Fly Messenger Fly, stepping down in class, since hasn't done anything since claim from Jason Acosta. Some people, one of my friends is telling me that I'm sentimental because Fly Messenger Fly Dam is Preacher, that's the first horse my grandfather bought for me. So I used to be sentimental towards every time she has a horse that's running, and I think this is her last foal. And she down in class now, so I just given her that shot. I know she used to run on. She used to be a good little run-on horse, and she used to run against better horses, but she obviously have her problems. She's been claimed from Jason DeCosta. Blinkers on now. I think she used to run in the blinkers. And I expecting if she's fit, because she's at the exercise canteen, I think she might put in a good run to make up the exotic bets. And the 4 Fault Line, who I think very capable at this level. Back in July was 3rd to Anonymous and Take a Punt at this distance. Came back next and ran a horrible race. Looked like had problems, was injured at the start before the race on the 5th of October. Has Ryan Lewis now for Ian Alexander, and I think this horse possibly is a very, very dangerous horse because he looks fit. Definitely looks like he's sound because he's at the exercise track. So watch out for those 2, Fly Messenger Fly and Fault Line. Okay guys, I hope you guys have a fantastic Christmas, and I hope the new year brings us a lot of luck, and as usual, be safe.